What do we need to do to be able to create this adventure with our kids?
Well, Annie, we start with day one. And day one is the introduction. It's here that you're going to learn all the skills that your kids will be developing as they go through the Chore Rewards Adventure.
And when you think about it, you think that the big idea is really financial literacy, which it is because you learn how to budget and the value of money. It's fun to see that they have other skills like
brainstorming and creativity.
Yeah, negotiation.
Yeah, it definitely, I can see it helping to build self-esteem too.
As a parent, you'll be reading this. It's not an activity that you do
with your kids.
Exactly, you do it on your own. So day one, you read the information to know exactly what you're going to be doing with your kids in the next day.
Because I know that you are totally great at just crushing through everything. You totally pounded through this in one afternoon, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did it in one afternoon because I was so excited. I started doing it and then I just went on and on.
But it's totally broken down. So if you are like super busy or your kids can only focus for little bits of time at a time, this is broken down into 9 nice, easy days for you.
Yeah, so there's no excuse of not doing it.
Right. Day one, as we said before, is the introduction. But day two, that's where things start to get good.
So during day two, it's really cool because you read a story with your kids.
It's interactive even.
Yes, because at the end there are little questions and then they answer, and if they don't have the good answer, it says, oh, try again. And then if you have the good answer, well, obviously,
then you win. Day three, you discuss financial literacy concepts with your kids. So, I mean, this one, it's a bit heavy because, I mean, you're learning terms that these kids are going to know their whole lives, but teaching it to them now really helps them develop these skills when they're young, and they can really grow them and develop them instead of just being tossed into them when you're like 18 and you're like, oh, I don't know what any of this stuff is.
Exactly. That's the goal, I think, of this activity is to learn these terms so that when you're older, it's easier.
Right.
And you get the good habits when you're young and then it's easier.
Day 4 is where things really start getting good. Because now you actually get to choose which model of chores you want to do with your kids. Right, Annie?
Yeah, and my favorite one is the hybrid. You can choose if you want to give them money or points.
It's really cool because if you got your points, you can actually use the reward catalog and they can choose like trips to the zoo or they can save their points up. It's really, really well done. That brings us to day 4. What was your favorite part about day 4?
Day 4 is choose your model. So this was, I think, my favorite part. As a parent, you can choose, do you want to give your kids money? Do you want to give them money for all of the chores that they do?
Like maybe making the bed?
Yeah. Do you want to give them money? If you don't want to give them money, you give them points. My favorite model was the hybrid.
With the hybrid model, honestly, it's kind of cool because like some chores that the kids should be doing every day, you can give them points for that. You don't have to give them money every time.
I find day 4 was also like only the parents, right?
Right, yeah. No, the parents are definitely the only ones involved on day 4. Day 5.
Yes, day 5, the Chore Reward catalog. So there is one catalog for 9 to 12.
And the other one for 7 to 8.
Yeah, and it's really cool because you don't have to pick the ones that are here because you have free space.
Yeah, you got open spaces to choose your own rewards or chores.
Yes, but for example, washing the car worth $4 or 4 points.
However you want to choose it.
Doing the dishes. And then you can choose. So this one is an activity that you do with your kids.
Right.
You choose the chores depending on their age. And you can write new chores if you want.
Yeah, like let's say maybe you live on a farm and your kids got to go milk the cows. That's a chore you can write down.
Yes, Jake. That's going to be on there.
Hey, some people start their kids doing chores in the farm early. Both in age and at 5 a.m.
And then there's a reward catalog, which is really cool because it gives you idea of what you can do with the kids.
The points.
With the points or the points. Or the money. It can be like based on money. Like for example, a picnic at your favorite park is between $10 and $15 in food.
Yeah, so that would be between 10 and 15 points as well.
Yeah.
All right, so day 6. Now, day 6, this is where you really get into the meat and the potatoes with your kids. I mean, you're going to sit down with them, and now you get to negotiate.
I find that really hard. Even as an adult, I don't find it easy to negotiate because I just listen to the point of view of the other person, and if it makes sense, I'm just going to go with it. Or else if my point makes sense, I'm just going to go with my point. So I find it's true. I always found negotiating hard. Like if I go to an interview and they say, "What do you want as a salary?" Yeah, what do you want as a salary?
Right.
I don't know. Like, what is it worth? I don't know. I've never done the job. Like, how do you want me to negotiate when I don't even know? So I find this really interesting to do with kids so that they learn young.
Right. Day 7. Day 7 is setting up the chore chart and the reward chart. They will see the fruits of their labor. When they worked hard, they can see their points or their money slowly racking up. They can see that they checked off and did their chores. And they get that feeling of success because they're like, all right, I'm actually getting somewhere.
Exactly.
Day 8, it was more of an optional day for me. What do you think?
I think I would do it later, maybe in 2 months or 3 months.
Like once they've established how the Chore Reward Adventure works and they're used to it, because it definitely brings in some interesting concepts of interest and consequences.
What the good part about this is if they never want to do their bed.
Well, then they have a consequence.
Example, when you go to the bank and you don't pay your credit card in time, well, you'll have to pay interest on it. Well, if you don't do your bed in time or if you don't do your bed that week,
then your points are reduced by interest amounts.
Yeah, and they do it per month. So at the end of your month, 3 times you didn't do your bed, too bad, you lose 10%.
Right, and that's up to you too. It's adjustable. You can make it however you want it to be. Which brings us to day 9.
Which I really liked, by the way.
Because that one, it's really just reflecting on how you're doing.
Yeah, and it's fun because then you can show your kids, wow, look at what you accomplished this week or what did you accomplish this month.
Like, doesn't it make you proud?
And that's the magic. I think that's where the magic happens, right?
Right.
They critically
They start
analyze.
developing that critical analytics.
Yes, and they see it. They're like, wow.
Like, I can't believe I did all of this and now I have this to show for it? That's awesome.
And then when they have their reward, they're proud because they've worked for it. It's not
Right.
just given to them. It's not, okay, we're going to the park. No.
Yeah, like you earned this.
Exactly.
So they enjoy it more.
Yes.
So that's how the Chore Reward Adventure is broken down. 9 days, super simple. Each one takes between like 2 and 10 minutes. They also have a weekly and a monthly, but those are more just updating your chore charts, reflecting on how you're doing. And then at the end of the month, you celebrate your achievements. Because, I mean, that's what we're doing this for, right? To celebrate the fact that we're doing good. And that's awesome.
And celebrate the teamwork. Your house is going to look so much prettier and you'll have more time together.
To celebrate and to enjoy each other's company, play family games, game nights, everything.
And your car is going to be cleaner if you chose washing the car.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for tuning in.
Next week, we're going to be deep diving into day 1 and breaking that down for you guys so you guys can understand it since we put in the time and effort to understand it for you.
You can also have this adventure online. Have a nice day.
Take care, guys.